Start.
So, hi, we are here in Macasandig Elementary School to interview a teacher regarding her thoughts about performance-based assessment. So, we have here, we're lucky to have Ma'am Maria Fe Esto. Thank you for letting us conduct an interview with you, ma'am. So, for our first question, do you usually use performance-based assessment?
Yes, I usually use performance-based assessment, and that is together with the traditional one.
So, how often do you use it?
I often use, together with the traditional one, I often use that one as often as the traditional type of assessment.
So, for our second question, ma'am, how do you plan performance-based assessment?
Now, in planning the performance-based assessment, of course, I have to look into the needs of the pupils. And of course, I have to find it out. I have to look for what activity do the students or the pupils find it interesting and enjoyable. And then the activity that would somehow help them perform with a real world situation. And then, of course, in planning with the performance-based assessment, I also see to it that I prepare a rubrics in order that there will be a fair scoring of their performance.
Ma'am, for your third question, are your performance-based assessment authentic?
Yes, they are authentic because they are grounded with the real task, with the real world situations.
And ma'am, are using these assessments effective? Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I find it effective because by using the assessments, I have diagnosed the strengths and weaknesses of the pupils. And I have also found out after the assessment, I have discovered their strengths and weaknesses, and also the students will be able to reflect on their learning.
For our fifth question, ma'am, what are your bases for using performance-based assessment?
Okay, my basis in using the performance-based assessment is I have to find out what the students need to know and be able to know in order to cope up with the real life situations and better those skills that would be applicable in meeting their needs whenever real situations need their skills and knowledge about it.
For our next question, ma'am, how is authentic assessment different from other types of assessment? And which one do you prefer and why?
Okay, basically, authentic assessment is practical and it involves hands-on experiences. Unlike the traditional one, wherein it usually involves the activities of matching type, fill in the blanks. Now, in traditional assessment, the responses of the pupils are somewhat, there is an indirect evidence, while in the authentic assessment, it is direct. We are given the exact way why the pupils were able to lead on that answer. So, klaro siya. The students will be able to, we will be given the idea on how the pupils arrived or picked up that answer in the authentic because responses are not provided. Usually sa traditional assessment method, everything is provided. There is an option for the students to so limited ang responses sa mga pupils. Unlike sa authentic, ang mga bata man good, ma-motivate din sila. They can display, they can exhibit their knowledge, they can exhibit how far have they done with that competency. Ma-express din nila ilang self. So, and then that's the time po ang teacher, mag-discover po niya kung unsa pa ang specific na theory. Ang authentic, hands-on siya, practical siya. It is in a realistic side of our life. Diba? Ang traditional life, more siya testing our memory power. It is more on what ang authentic, more on house of life. Unsa, it is in a higher hierarchy of intelligence bitaw. Basta ka siya. Kung sa Bloom's taxonomy pa, ang authentic assessment belongs sa application, while ang traditional, it belongs to sa memory ng bitaw na naaras siya sa simple recall. But then, I prefer to use kaning duha mix because we need to know first the what of things before going through the house. So yun na ako i-apply sa akong mga kana. Uban din na siya ang traditional and authentic. Kaya isod po, mo diretso ka sa higher level without passing through sa ubos.
So, our seventh question, ma'am, is why should educators use authentic assessment?
Educators should use authentic assessment not because we are here to prepare our students for life. And then authentic is the one that will be with them for life because that is practical and that is what we will do.
And for our eighth question, ma'am, can you please give us a topic where you have used authentic assessment?
Okay. The topic which I have used the authentic assessment is when I discussed about adjectives. Then first of all, I try to define, of course, adjectives. Let them know what are adjectives, what are their importance. So, di na ako na-apply ang traditional method. And then, after that one, i-apply na dayon na ako ang authentic assessment. Wherein, I ask the students to form by group. Then, I give them an instruction wherein they are going to make their own advertisement using adjectives, of course. And then, of course, also, I prepared a rubric so that the time when they present their advertisements, they have the guide on how are they given the scores. So, and then sa rubrics na included na din how they use adjectives correctly, correct choice of verbs, and then after the activity, I have discovered na there are students who are really good in acting. So, sa authentic assessment, makita niyo kung unsa ang kakayahan sa bata. Unlike sa kaning traditional ba nga, limited ra gid ang responses. Pero sa authentic, daghan kang ma-discover na kakayahan sa bata. So, ana, during na dayon sa ilahang performance sa ilohang class na ginhatag. How did it go? So, I found it, so after the activity, I found it effective. I have discovered so many things from the pupils. I found that the pupils have really enjoyed what they are doing, and they also discovered something from them. Nakita nila what are their strengths, what are their weaknesses, because after their performance, the teacher will give a feedback. Kung ano siya, yung performance, kulang siya na side, these are your strengths, these are your weaknesses, so you need to improve your side. So in other words, the students are given the chance to reflect on their learning at the same time sa authentic.
And finally, ma'am, what have you learned after using such assessments?
I have learned that it's really good to use an authentic kind of assessment. It helps the teacher as well as the pupils also. Because the teacher will be able to diagnose what the other needs of the students, and also the students